Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Today's video is just a reaction to some other videos on YouTube I've seen from some of my favorite YouTubers, Spencer from Rover Sports and, of course, Jet Central. A lot of discussion about the draft coming up. Now, I don't have a dog in this fight because what I want to talk about today is quarterbacks. And just overall, the top 4 or 5 picks in the draft and who these people should take, and my thoughts on these quarterbacks in this draft. Now, I know that I don't claim to be an expert on drafting quarterbacks for teams. I do know what I see, and I do know, I watch a lot of NFL football. I watch a lot of college football, and there's a difference between great talent and great players, in my opinion. Now, I know Jet Central loves Josh Rosen. That's who he wants to go to the Jets. Now, I have been very vocal. I am not a believer in Josh Rosen. He may be the most talented quarterback in this draft, mechanic-wise, accuracy, arm strength, intelligence, all of that. And he may be right. I could be completely wrong for all I know. I just know that there is an intangible factor when it comes to quarterback position, especially in a big market like New York, that is important. We saw this last year with Deshaun Watson coming out. He fell all the way to the 12. He was passed on by the Jets, by the Bears, by the Browns. And Watson came out and said, if you pass on me, you're going to regret it. Meanwhile, Houston's found their guy in Watson. He got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was lighting the NFL up. He only started 7 games, had 19 touchdowns, and I don't even know how many passing yards, but he was lighting it up. And to me, I knew Deshaun Watson was going to be a great NFL player, not just because I'm a Clemson fan, because I know that Deshaun Watson is a winner. He has the mentality for the NFL. He has the mentality to transcend the locker room and bring people together and want to fight for him. And he is going to do everything in his power, both on and off the field, to, in his mind, be the greatest player that ever lived. Will he be the greatest player that ever lived? Who knows? I'm not claiming that. But he has that mentality. To me, Josh Rosen does not have that mentality. And that's more important. This is the reason that I would take Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, both over Rosen. Now, it's sort of a toss-up between Sam Darnold and Rosen to me. Darnold's a great talent also. I do think he has a better head for being a pro than Rosen does. I think he loves football more than Rosen does. That's just my opinion. And like I said, he may be such a great talent that he may prove me wrong. But here's the other thing. With Barkley in this draft, I think that Barkley might be the best. Well, I know he's the best player in this draft, but he might be the best player in any draft that we've seen over the past 4 or 5 years, with the exception of maybe Ezekiel Elliott. And maybe Todd Gurley. I guess you could put him in that category also. But I'm just saying, I am not sold on this guy. You know what? If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I've been wrong before, and I'll be wrong again. Anybody who thinks that they're right about these things 100% of the time, hell, the NFL scouts are wrong more than they're right on these things. So I'm certainly prone to being wrong about these things as well. But here's my analysis about Rosen. He went to UCLA, super smart, intelligent guy. Great mechanics, great footwork, great accuracy, big arm. There are lots of players that have played in the NFL with these attributes, and we're not big stars. We're not Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. I guess as far as the tangible factors, as far as the mechanics and accuracy and arm strength and just all of the physical talent, you could put him in Peyton Manning's category. Peyton Manning was a very intelligent guy with a big arm. The difference is, Peyton Manning, there was no doubt about Peyton Manning coming out of college that he loved football, that he was focused 110% on being the best pro player that he could be. He didn't go out there and make controversial statements, and I don't care if this guy has his own opinions about social situations or whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But there's a fine line between opinion and arrogance. And arrogance does not get you far in professional sports unless you're in a sport that has, that you're the only guy, like golf or tennis, something like that, that you don't have to play with a team. You don't have to rally the troops, so to speak, to have your back. Are people more likely, other players on the team, whether it's receivers, linemen, running backs, even the defensive players, to rally around somebody like Baker Mayfield or Josh Rosen? You be the judge. So, in my opinion, Josh Rosen, it should be a top 10 pick in the draft based on talent alone. But based on the other few, especially Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and even Sam Darnold to some extent, I don't think that he should be going ahead of those guys. That's just my personal opinion. You can let me know if you agree with me or not. But I'm glad that my team, the Panthers, are not picking for a quarterback and not picking in the top 5. Because if they picked Rosen, I would be extremely upset with that pick. So, we'll see. And anybody that passes on Saquon Barkley is a fool. I don't care, unless you have Ezekiel Elliott on your team or Todd Gurley, which none of these teams that are picking in the top 5 have a running back of that stature, then you would be a complete fool to pass on him. Period. He is a mixture between Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and Le'Veon Bell all mixed into one. And he's a good guy, and he's smart, and he definitely wants to be the best player that he can be. I would want him on my team. I don't care what your needs are. Don't pass on that guy. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting. Clearly, I don't like Rosen, but a lot of people do, and we'll see who's right. Pigskin Pete, checking out.